Hello everyone, and welcome to the official IPR broadcast of the first week of our Formula 2 League. I'm Molly P, I'm going to be commentating today. For the first two races and first session of this league, we are heading to Austria. We already have a couple of cars heading out of the pits. The format for today's race will be sorry, trying to get this spectator menu working. Let's hope that it works. Here we go. We see the drivers heading out onto the track now. The format for this Formula 2 League, every week of it, will be a full qualifying session, 30 minutes, with a 50% feature race and a 50% sprint race. On other weeks, these races will be taking place on different tracks, but this week we're on Austria for both of them. The teams and drivers to look out for in this league, I would say Too Fast For You and Much Olmec in the Carlin team. They're going to be a strong team, look out for them. Too Fast, a very strong driver in the F1 cars, and Much Olmec are Division 2 Formula 1 champion for season 1 of for season 1 of the league. Other drivers, Lanso, who we are watching right now, very fast, and watch out for BFR Adam as well. He's got a lot quicker since the last time he raced in this league, and he could be a real dark horse. It looks like Lanso is at the head of this queue. So, we're going to go on board for his first lap of Austria and the first lap of this league. As he opens the DRS coming onto the home straight. These Formula 2 cars obviously a lot slower than the Formula 1 cars. Braking in a straight line, turning in. Seems like a decent exit there. Everything DRS, he's got a bit of traffic on the right from Drummond, but he gets out of the way. Now heading up this long straight, look for lots of DRS overtakes here in the race, before this tight, heavy braking zone of turn 3. Getting the car rotated nicely, up to third, fourth, DRS open along this top straight, the highest point of the track. Supuna getting out of the way there. And then this downhill corner, very easy to lock up in these Formula 2 cars, but he manages not to. Getting on the power again, nice and early. Before this fastest section of the track, these two fast left-handers, as Ray puts in a 1:14.6 as the first lap on the board. Nice and tidy through the left-handers, taking a bit of curve on the left, running out a bit on the right. We'll see if, I can't tell if that's an invalidation, but it's possible that it was. Nope, still going. And then these last two right-handers down to third for the right-hander. And now get the traction down onto the straight, DRS open, and he's going to come across the line, setting a 1:14.0, 6/10 faster than Suey. Very good lap there from. No, that was Toaster. What's Lanso done? Lanso would have been Lanso must have been invalidated. That lap did not count for him. But here he goes again. Let's stay on board for now. We see a yellow flag in sector 3. That's one of the BWT cars off, it looks like. Now we see some people going out on softs and some on super softs. I believe it is the feature race first, so people qualifying on softs perhaps leaving themselves some options for strategy in the race. The super softs of course should be faster, but so far the only time set on them has been by Kelly Edge, and he is the slowest of those who have set a time so far. As Lanso rounds the second to last fast right-hander, down to third again. Get the power down. Is this lap going to count? Hopefully for him it will. Coming across the line, and that is a 14.9, putting him only 6th, slowest of everyone so far. Although that was setting his second lap, and he spins directly afterwards. So let's find someone else to go on board with. This is Sipunak. This is his first timed lap so far. 18.2 first sector. Getting it turned in nicely for turn 3. Little bit of a wobble on the exit, but getting the DRS open along the top straight here. Runner puts in a 15.6. That's the slowest of everyone so far. Nice and tidy through there. Sipunak, a very fast driver, probably the most successful of any in the second half of the season 1 of the Formula 1 league. Sorry. Let's see what he can do here in qualifying. More known for his race pace, but he's not no slouch in qualifying. Missing the curve there on the right, but keeping it more tidy than Lanso did on the exit curve. Now getting the car up speed before this fast right-hander. This is just a quick downshift in a Formula 1 car, but it's a proper corner in these F2 cars. And now taking a nice amount of curve on the right, running it out wide, DRS open. Where is this lap going to put him? It did not count, that must have been an invalidation somewhere. But it was a 13 point something, I didn't see the precise time. He's got an invalidation on this lap already, so let's find someone else to go on with. Still lots of people who haven't gone out yet. Here we go, Ivo Peters. He's got the super soft tyre on. His first lap was a 15.2, putting him the second last of everyone who's gone so far. Yeah, he's looks like a decent lap so far. He's not invalidated. Through the left-hander, that's a bit wide. That could possibly be an invalidation, but we will have to see. He's 2 seconds outside the time through the first 2 sectors. I'm not sure what time that is, whether that's the lead or his previous time, but we'll have to see if it's an improvement, as he doesn't take as much exit curve as he could have, blocking the inside tyre on both of those last 2 corners. Very easy to do in these F2 cars. They're quite a lot harder to drive, no improvement for him. Lanso and Kelly Edge, Zwain, Realnio and Toasted Vivid all back in the pits. Toasted Vivid with a 13.6, putting him second at the moment on the soft tyres. Let's see if we can find someone else here. There, and Adam comes into the pits. Kenners we see doing his rallying impression, and not the smoothest from Kenners. Sway coming into the pits. Makelele is staying out. Let's go on board with Makelele for this lap then. Onto the home straight, opening the DRS. He's got less than lap of fuel, so we're just catching the end of his lap. But it puts him 7th with a 14.4. Lanso on his out lap. Ivo Peters, is he still on a lap here? It looks like he's still going for this, and I think that was an improvement in the second sector. Sorry if I'm not great at this, it's my first time commentating. And this looks like either a very unideal line, or it looks like he's coming into pits. No, it's just an interesting line. Locking up the right front. He's not doing those tyres any favours. Opening the DRS, and it's a 25-0. That must be something must have happened on that lap. Let's see who else we have. We've got Melania on his out lap. Mekalele going slowly, probably out of fuel. Who else do we have? We have John KL 2002, who is on a lap right now. 57.0 through the first 2 sectors. Honestly, I don't know if that's fast. I guess we'll find out. But he's approaching the time of other people already, so it's not the best lap if this was a push. Let's stay on board for a bit, see if he's going to go for another push here and see if he can improve on that 120.9, which it would be a bit of a shame if he couldn't, seeing as that's 5 seconds off the pace so far. Heading up towards turn 3, he goes on a very interesting line there, going almost all the way around, bringing the car to an almost complete stop. This is not the lap he would have wanted so far, but let's see what he can do. Maybe he'll get a bit faster if the session goes on. We do see, oh, and that wasn't ideal at all. We do see that the super soft tyres, on the whole, taking up 4 of the top 5, although Vendetta on the softs has set the fastest time of the race. Oh, and John is pretty much stopping, so let's find someone else to go on board with. Melania. Not sure if this is a push or not, but let's go on board anyway. Along the top straight, down towards the medium speed right hander. Easy to lock up, but he manages not to, keeps it nice and tight through there. Got a bit of traffic, but it gets out of the way just nicely. Now coming into these two fast left handers, very tricky in these Formula 2 cars. But he keeps it clean through there, taking some exit curb. Bit wide through the second of the two corners, but nothing awful. That's a purple middle sector for Melania. It's going very fast on these new super soft tyres. Now into the last two corners, takes a nice amount of curb, gets on the exit curb, and now as he rounds the last corner, keeps it inside the lines, and now it's DRS straight onto the finish, and this time keeps him 5th. An improvement, but not enough to move him up at all. And as he slows down, let's go with Zway now. This was not an improvement, a 10th off his previous time. I know of a guy coming through the last two corners and diving into the pits. Now Lancer again, let's see if he can improve from last time. What can he do here? Coming around the last corner, and this must have been a bad lap or an out lap or something, because that's a 1:25.2. Let's see. Lots of people pitting for new tyres, I'm assuming. IPR Kenners up in 4th at the moment on an invalidated lap. But let's stay on board for now and see what he can do next lap. Lots of other people are in the pits right now. Milano coming into the pits, Zway following him in. So as Kenners approaches the last two corners, we're going to stay on board for this lap. As he opens the DRS down the pit straight, and he must have got another invalidation, and that's a replay glitch, but let's stay on board for now. He seems to be still pushing. That was a very clean first corner, getting the DRS open nicely. Heading up towards turn 3 using the entry curve, braking at about 100 meters, keeping it nice and tight to the apex. Looked like a little bit slow through there, but tidy on exit. No oversteer, which you can get in these cars. Still showing us an invalidated lap, but he seems to be pushing, so let's stay on board. Using the exit curve, gets on the grass there, that will cost him at least a couple of tenths, if this is indeed a valid lap. Again, out onto the curb there. I'm not sure how much of that you can use without getting an invalidation, but he's still going. Into the last two corners, using the curve nicely, running a bit wide on exit there, and he could have used a bit more of the inside curve there, but as he crosses the line, it is a 13.9, which even if that was a valid lap would not have improved for him. Too Fast For You has gone 5th fastest with a time of 1:13.7, only 500ths slower than Kenners. He's going again, he's on the soft tyre, a little lockup going into this right hander, but clean on the exit. Into the left hander, very clean all round, as he uses a decent amount of that exit curb. Now he's got some traffic coming up, and he does have to go to the inside to avoid it. That compromises his entry into that corner a little bit, causing him to lock up and in fact he chooses to go into the pits. Lanso is out at the moment, he's on an invalid lap. So let's look at IPR Makelele, who has just started his lap, who is about halfway through his lap. He's into the medium speed right-hander right there. I think that's turn 4, unless there's another weird non-turn in the middle of that top straight, like turn 2. Nice and clean through the left-handers. This is a good angle actually. Let's see if the game lets me stay with it. Keeping it nice and tidy. Running out, and that's an invalidation, unfortunately, for Makelele, but I'm not sure it would have been a great lap anyway. He chooses to stay out. Let's quickly have a look at Kelly Edge as he comes across the line with a 15.4. He seems to be going on to another lap. Nice and clean up through the long second straight, I suppose we can call it. Into turn 3, using a good amount of curb on the entry there. Nice and clean along the top straight. Let me know if the audio balance is okay, by the way. Locking up into that right-hander, that'll cost him a bit of time. But as he comes through this sector 2, let's wait for the time split, see if he's gaining any time. He is 900ths down on his previous time, but there's still the third sector to go, so it's possible that we could see an improvement here. Kelly's currently in 15th place on the soft tyres. Into the last 2 corners. Looks clean enough, not an invalidation, and across the line with a 14.9, 2/10 down on his previous time, unfortunately. Still, 3 people we are yet to see make a lap: IPR Aries, Alpha, and IPR Skull Crusher. Aries is actually out on track right now, so let's go on board with him. He's invalidated, but coming up these last 2 corners, let's see what he can do. Let's see what he can do. Coming into the first corner using entry curve, getting across that inside curve quite nicely. It's quite a hard corner to get right there because you want to just get your inside wheels over that sausage curve, but it's very easy to invalidate if you go too far. One thing you'll notice in these Formula 2 cars is you don't get these spamming of the downshifts the same way you do in the Formula 1 cars. That's because it's a lot easier to get rear locking, and also the car doesn't allow you to do it as much. So, like you see here with Aries, more gradually going down through the gears to avoid that rear locking, which can just easily send you into a spin. Using 3rd gear through the fast left-hander. He does have less than a lap of fuel left, but let's see if he's going to choose to pit or keep going. Coming into the last 2 corners, using a bit of the inside curve there, and a good amount of the curve there. That was a very nice last corner. Opening the DRS, coming up the line for a 14.3, putting him 11th, just ahead of Makelele and behind Sway. Toasted Vivid is out again, and this is someone who could very easily be challenging for not only poles but wins in the race. This is an invalid lap, but he is only 3/10 off pole at the moment. Adam, also I said to look out for Adam, and he seems to be going pretty well so far. He's currently on some sort of lap. It's not his out lap, but it could be a cool down. He is 5/10 down on his best coming through the middle sector. Let's see if he can bring this back at all, or whether he is not going to improve. Going to the inside there. Looks like he might be coming into the pits, and he is. Kenners is also in the pits. Cipunet is not. He's on a lap. He is going to the inside as if he's going to come into the pits. And he is. Everyone's coming into the pit. So let's go back to Toasted Vivid, who is now on a flying lap, coming into turn 4. As there's yellow flags in first and third sectors, probably just people going slowly, getting ready to set up a lap. Vivid going through the fast left-hander, keeps it nice and clean. You can see the amounts of understeer that these drivers are getting from these Formula 2 cars as opposed to the Formula 1 cars. It's one of the reasons I'm not racing. I just dislike these cars to drive. But they do create good, close racing with only 9 minutes left in the qualifying session now. Vivid comes across the line, improves by 900ths, but stays in second place. That was a very nice lap, as we had Too Fast and Milano coming out of pits now, as well as Smila, or Smila. The jury's still out on how you actually say his name. But the organiser of this Formula 2 league, currently in 7th place, on new soft tyres. Let's see if he can do anything next lap. Let's see, is anyone actually on a flyer right now? Let's try to find someone. Makelele going into the first turn. This looks like he's on a flyer. Let's go on board. Bit late on the DRS there, but shouldn't change his time too much. Going into turn 3, keeps it nice and tight. No wheel spin on the exit. Very tidy. Along the top straight, DRS open up to 6th gear, reaching 180 miles an hour before breaking down to 2nd gear for the right-hander. On the throttle, nice and early again, avoiding the wheel spin. On the brakes, hard into the left-hander, trying to carry as much speed as possible for the second left-hander, which tightens up a bit more than the first one. It goes a bit wide through there, but it shouldn't affect his time that much, although he did get an invalidation through that section, so this time will not count. IPR Air is retiring from the session, which is interesting. I'm not quite sure why that was, as we're on board with Much Olmec now, the Division 2 champion for Season 1, as he comes into the last corner, opens the DRS and comes across the line with a 1:14.7, 2/10ths down on his best. Up at the top we still have Vendetta, Toasted Vivid, BFR Adam and IPR Kenners and Too Fast For You, all within 4/10ths of each other. Kenners, however, set that time on the soft compounded tyre rather than the super soft, so there's probably some more time in that. He's in the pits currently though, as we see Olmec heading along the top straight, going to the right there to just keep as straight a line as possible. Every 1,000th of a second counts, locking up though into that right-hander, which will shave off all of that time and more, unfortunately. Locking up very easy to do in these Formula 2 cars thanks to the lower levels of downforce and also the less tyre grip, but similar brakes. That's a purple middle sector for Much Olmec, but let's see what he can do coming into this fast final sector. Rounding the right-hander, and he gets an invalidation. That's a shame. Let's see what this time would have been. For the purple middle sector, it could have been something quite fast, crossing the line for a 14.1, which would have improved him. It would have put him up to 8th place, but he got that invalidation, which is a shame. Too Fast For You is out on track and has just started his lap, so a small lockup going into the first turn and an invalidation straight away, so I can't commentate on that. Milano, invalid. Smila, invalid, but starting a new lap, so let's see what he can do. Not the best camera angle, thank you game, but here we go. Opening the DRS, heading up this long straight. Not the most ideal line through there, but it will only cost him a 1,000th or 100th or so. Not the cleanest out there, a little bit of oversteer, but he corrects it nicely and gets back on the power nice and early. Heading down into turn 4. Does he stop from locking up? He does, taking the curve nicely on the right as Drummer retires from the session in 14th place. Downshifting to 3rd for the left-hander. Very nice management of the throttle and brake there, avoiding wheel spin and avoiding locking up at the same time. So coming into the last sector now, he's got it nice and clean through there, nice and clean through the last corner as well, as he opens the DRS and comes across the line for a 14.3, 2 tenths down on his best. Now we see both Toasted Vivid, who is on a lap, and Vendetta, who is on his outlap. These two currently separated by 700ths, and they are the fastest two so far. Toasted Vivid up through turn 3, getting on the power nice and early. On the super soft tyre, Ken is the highest soft runner. Could give him an advantage on strategy for the feature race, but we will see how the strategy plays out. Using entry curve there, Toasted Vivid, keeping it nice and tidy to the left-hander. He's currently 3 tenths outside his time from before. He's going to need one hell of a third section to make up for it. Let's see what he can do. As there's a yellow flag for, looks like either John or Supunak heading through this last sector. They're probably just starting a lap. Toasted Vivid comes across the line with a 13.9, 5 tenths down on his best. Vendetta has started one of his final flying laps as well. He is heading just on the exit of turn 4 there, keeping it nice and tight to the right, using the entry curve, loading up that right tyre before getting fully on the steering. Nice and smooth on the throttle, holding it just about halfway before delivering all the power down on the exit of the corner. Let's see his sector time. Oh, I missed it, didn't I? So we're just going to have to wait for the end of the lap. Nice and clean through there. Could have used more inside curve. Bit hesitant on turning, but let's see what he can do. Straightening up towards the line, and that is a 13.2, extending his lead so far. And that is an extremely fast lap from Vendetta. Toasted Vivid still out on the circuit, and on another lap he is 900ths outside his previous time, but let's see if he can have a good third sector to make up for it. Getting over the inside curve there nicely and getting the power down onto the straight. A 13.5, he can't seem to improve. 1 minute 40 left in the session. Adam and Kenners and Too Fast are in the pits. Let's just check. Too Fast has just got into the pit, so he will not be going out again, I don't think. I don't think he'll have time. So that looks like Too Fast is stuck with a 13.7 in 5th so far. Adam and Kenners, we'll see. They do have time to go out again. Or will they want to? Or will they be happy with 3rd and 4th? Toasted Vivid, he's still out on these tyres, but they are now 5 laps old. I'm not sure he's going to improve on these. And he definitely does not have time to come back in and put a different set now. So it looks like if anyone's going to dethrone Vendetta, is going to come as he sets a 1 minute 12.8, half a second faster than the next time. It looks like if anyone's going to dethrone him, it's going to come from outside the top 6. Supunak comes into the pits. Who's left on track now? Lanso in the pits. Ray invalidated his last chance to lap. Everyone else is in the pits except for Skull Crusher, who is 2 tenths outside his current time and 4 seconds down on the leader. So it looks like this is probably going to be the finishing order, as Toasted has one last chance for a lap on 6 lap old tyres. Even if he does manage to get this lap to improve, these tyres are going to be very worn at the beginning of the race. I'll be interested to know what tyres he sets his fastest lap on, because if they're these, he's going to have a very early pit window in order to not lose too much time. So that could put him in danger. This is the last lap that could possibly dethrone Vendetta at the top of the time charts. He has less than a lap of fuel on board, heading through the left-hander. He's tidy, but and it doesn't give me a split. So thank you that game. That's very useful. We don't know where he is in relation to the time, but this all looks very tidy. But I'm not sure. I think these 6-lap-old tyres are not going to be doing him any favours as he rounds the final corner. It looks tidy, but can he get the power down and onto the straight in time? No. 2 tenths outside his time. And it is Vendetta that takes pole in Austria. Toasted Vivid in second. Adam in third. Kenners fourth. And Too Fast For You in fifth. So that's a very very interesting qualifying. Vendetta, was a bit of an unknown quantity coming into this. We didn't know what kind of pace he had. He's shown us all what kind of pace he has there. Taking the pole by over half a second. Toasted Vivid, we knew was going to be fast heading into this. Takes second place. Adam. I said at the beginning, watch out for Adam, he could be a dark horse, and here he is taking third position, with Kenners in fourth. Kenners always consistent, second in the D1 championship for the F1 cars. Some surprises further down the order. I'm surprised to see Lancer so slow. Not slow necessarily, so low on the order. Seems like he doesn't quite have the same kind of pace in these F2 cars as he does in F1. As we get ready to go to the feature race. Supunak qualifying in 7th, I think it was. Not the best from him, but not the worst either, and he's always good on strategy and race pace, so let's see what he can pull out of the bag there. As we get ready for the feature race. Session starting in 20 seconds. It seems like there's a bit of angriness in the text chat about qualifying runs getting blocked by people with their AI driving for them as they go off on the formation lap. Vendetta leads them away. 20 laps of Austria here. Should be about 25-minute race. Something like that. Probably going to be a one-stop strategy. Although I won't pretend to know the ins and outs of Formula 2 strategy. We'll have to see what happens. Now, Aries and Makelele starting P11 and P12. Now they will be on fresh tyres. Aries is opted for the softs, Makelele for the super softs. Much Almec as well opting for the super softs. We will see what that can do, but it should lead to a longer first stint, especially from Aries, which could lead to him either overcutting some people or coming back through at the end of the race. We are trialling a couple of things in these F2 races. We are trialling no ghosting, which means that lapped cars will have to get out of the way. As we see, there's been a collision on the formation lap, and who's that? Is that who is that who's being returned to the grid? I can't find them. It's Alpha and John KL, who will return to the grid on the formation lap. As they form up for the start of the race, we are ready for into the points. Formula 2, the first race at Austria. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights, and they are off again. And everyone getting a decent start. It looks like Vendetta is going to keep his lead. Alpha is not in the lead. That is a glitch. Vendetta keeping his lead into turn 1. Toasted Vivid staying there behind. A couple of cars off track, and someone is spun in the background. It looks like it is going to be Drummer, perhaps. No, it's Kenners. Kenners down to P19 already. Not the start he would have wanted. As we see someone diving up the inside of Toasted Vivid, and he's spun. And someone goes straight on at turn 3. Carnage at turn 3. The Vendetta out ahead of all of it. Has a 2-second gap already to I Know of a Guy. And then we have Too Fast For You making up 2 positions. Sipunak, I said to look out for him off the start. He's made up 5 positions already. Adam down to P5 and Smila up to P6. The 2 Carlin boys together. Aries on those fresh soft tyres already up to P7 from P10. And Too Fast For You already all over I Know of a Guy. It looks like I Know of a Guy might have dived Toasted Vivid into turn 3 a bit. And it's possible, as Too Fast goes past, that I Know of a Guy has some wing damage because of that. I'm sure that will be looked at by the stewards after the race. But Vendetta already with a very good gap out front. DRS has been enabled. So, ooh, and that's Too Fast getting a bit sideways out of that corner. But he manages to catch it. Adam heading up alongside. Who is that? Is that I think it's I Know of a Guy, but but this is all going a bit weird as we see Ivo Peters in the lead, in the pits, replacing the front wing, going onto these super soft tyres. Looks like he's going to have to do a 2-stop now. Too Fast For You has got ahead of I Know of a Guy and is opening up a decent gap. Adam alongside, going around the outside of I Know of a Guy. Can he make this stick? He can. Excellent move from BFR Adam, going past I Know of a Guy and up into P3. That is P3. Ivo Peters is not in fact in the lead. He is down right at the back of the field. IPR Smila making up a lot of positions on that first lap. Up 4, started in P9, now in 5th. So in fact, he's up 5, I think, depending on how glitched my thing is. Oh, it's back. Vendetta is indeed in first. Smila up 4 positions from 9th to 5th by lap 3. Sipunak on his tail. Adam is just barely inside Too Fast's DRS range. He wants to stay there if he wants to have a decent chance of passing. And also, with I Know of a Guy all over his own side, going to the inside of Adam. Is he going to be able to make this stick down the inside? Looks like a bit of a corner cut there. They're side by side, and I Know of a Guy goes through for now. However, I Know of a Guy does have a penalty. He has a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. So, on paper, everyone down to Toasted Vivid, except for Aries, who has a penalty of his own, as I Know of a Guy goes wide and off the track, and Adam gets back past. However, Adam does no longer have DRS, so as Smila has the DRS open on this and the next straight, it looks like he might have a decent chance at a pass going into turn 3. Let's go on board with Smila as he opens the DRS, chasing Adam up the hill. Does he have a close enough gap? Seems like he might not, as Adam goes to the middle of the track to defend. Smila can't get it done here, but if he gets a better exit out of this corner, he can have a chance into turn 4. He does get a much better exit. With the DRS open, this should be a fairly easy pass on the inside. Adam couldn't get the power down efficiently enough. He's going to try to fight it around the outside, but Smila, they're still side by side, the 2 Carlin cars. And Adam actually managed to hold it round the outside. Smila goes to the inside for the left-hander, but that's a very high-speed corner and it's hard to overtake. This is a great battle between these 2 cars, but it is opening the door a little bit. Who's way behind, who is right on their tails. Sipunak has dropped out of DRS range behind that, with Toasted Vivid making up time again from his spin on the first lap. Back up to P7. Breaks a little bit late, goes into the back of Sipunak there, but this should be a fairly easy pass with DRS. Does Sipunak go defensive? No, he does not. We've got Toasted Vivid alongside as he goes into turn 1 and he gets it done. He was behind at the DRS detection point, so he has DRS here again, and he should be able to pull out a nice gap on Sip. However, Sip, even without the DRS, staying right behind him, and we're going 3 wide here. IPR Aries up between the two of them, forcing Toasted Vivid off the road, and that's Sipunak down to 8. What happened there? I'm not quite sure. But Aries got past both of them in one go, and now he's free to chase down the 3 cars of Sway, Sula and Adam. We saw Toasted Vivid having to go around the outside on IPR Aries, but he couldn't make it stick, and now heading into this fast second sector where it's very hard to overtake. Aries has the lead of these 3 racers. Let's go on board with Sway now, coming into the final sector. Smila dropping back a bit, 6 tenths from Adam, who has a 2-second gap in front of him to Too Fast. Vendetta pulling out a nice lead of nearly 5 seconds now. Onto Too Fast. Adam seems to be able to get the power down pretty nicely out of the corners, apart from that one time when Sweden got past him. But of these 3, 4 and 5, as Skullcrusher gets a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings, his second in fact. Of these top 5, it seems like Zway is in fact the only one on these soft tyres. So that's not true. Vendetta is on these. Oh, as Toasted Vivid spins, resets the track, taking out Aries and I Know a Guy and Lanso. 4 people on this straight. Oh no, not like this. I Know a Guy can't get it facing the right direction again. That's going to be wing damage for Aries, it looks like. Yes, you can see he has the end plate missing from his front wing. I'd be surprised if he didn't pit for that, as it's brought the virtual safety car out. Toasted Vivid not having a fun race. 2 accidents that I don't think were his fault. We'll have to see the replay, but you can see part of his front wing's missing. It's these 3, Sway, Swela and Adam, still very close. Let's see, does Toasted come into the pits? I imagine he will. Aries, Makalele, can we see his wing? Makalele seems to have no damage, it seems like. Lanso has an end plate missing. Alpha, up from P18 I think he started. Let's see. He is... Alpha, yeah. Alpha's up 14 positions into P5. What a race it's been for him so far. He just managed to stay out of trouble as the virtual safety car has ended. And Zway. And what's happened to Serena here? He must have pitted under virtual safety car. Now that's interesting. He could have got... I didn't see that, but he could have got lucky with that. He could have had almost a free pit stop. We will have to see what happens after Zway and Adam pits. But Zway on those soft tyres should be going a bit faster than Adam now. In fact, he does have a faster lap, and that's not Zway. That's not like it. Why does it keep going to this? As we see the Mazepin car going slowly. Is that drama going slowly? It must be, I think. As Adam comes into the pits, 1 lap later than Smila. So let's look at Smila here. As too fast for you, the second place driver gets a 5-second penalty for speeding into the pit lane. That could put him behind P3. But let's see if Smila's early pit stop paid off for him. As he rounds the final corner, is he going to come out ahead of or behind Adam? As Adam comes out of the pits, Smila heading down the pit straight. I think he's done it. He's managed to undercut Adam and get ahead. And he's also managed to get ahead of Too Fast actually. That's a big undercut. That's something like a 3 or 4 second undercut, which is insane. Now, Too Fast has Adam behind him about 2 seconds. However, oh, and that's a drive-through for Vendetta. He must have sped at the end of the. I did not see that, but Vendetta has a drive-through penalty, which will put him out. Probably behind, definitely behind Sway, who hasn't pitted yet, and possibly behind Smealer. However, Vendetta hasn't pitted, so that's a costly mistake for him if that was for speeding under virtual safety car. Let's see where Smealer comes out from Vendetta. Okay, Vendetta keeps his position on the track, but he no longer has a pit stop window that will put him out in front of Smealer. So he has effectively lost the lead thanks to that drive-through penalty. Sway now needs to go as fast as possible to try to fend off the undercut from Smealer, Too Fast and Adam. As he goes into the fast right-hander. Let's see, where are the battles happening? We've got Toasted Vivid and Alpha, the two BWT cars, coming into turn 1. Alpha goes to the inside, can't quite make it work. Both of these drivers have pitted. It's only the top 2 drivers left to stop. As there's a yellow flag in sector 3. It looks like John perhaps has gone off. Is that right? I think it was John who went off. But let's go back on board with Toasted Vivid and Alpha as they come along this top straight. Alpha has the DRS open heading in towards turn 4. Getting the car slowed down. No lock-up so far, and he gets the power down nicely as well. Heading through this middle sector. Toasted Vivid is pulling out the gap, and he's actually pulled out over a second, and Aries goes through with Too Fast for You setting the fastest lap of the race from P4. IPR Aries up to 9th, and that is an actual P9, as everyone in front of him who he is racing has already stopped. Let's have a look at the times of Zway. He is slowing down. Look, you can see he had that 1:23 lap, which is probably the virtual safety car, and since then he has not been the same pace as he was before. He's kept it to the low 1:16, so his tyres don't seem to be going off too fast, and he did just set his personal best middle sector. So he's doing well, but let's see what kind of time Smealer is doing. You see Smealer is doing the high 1:15s. So at the moment, Smealer is catching Zway, and he might be able to pull off the undercut when Zway pits. The undercut is when a car behind pits first, goes fast on the new tyres, and then comes out ahead of the car they were racing. For those of you who didn't know what that was. For some reason I don't have any intervals, but Too Fast for You is inside DRS of IPR Smealer. However, he does have that 5-second penalty, which will be added to his time at the end of the race. So if he wants P3, he needs to get past Smealer as fast as possible, and then pull off into the distance. He is going faster than Smealer at the moment, as can be seen from the fact that he has the fastest lap of the race with a 1:15.35, almost half a second faster than Smealer's fastest time that he also set on the last lap. As Aries gets another penalty, his second. Him and Ken is in 8th and 9th, both on 6 seconds of penalties at the moment. And they're very close in fact, so let's have a quick look at this. As Kenners on Toasted Vivid. Toasted Vivid squeezes Kenners a little bit. Kenners tries to go round the outside, but he just can't get it to turn in enough. And now this could leave him vulnerable to Aries behind. No, he's too far back. Kenners, let's stay on board with Kenners for a bit. Although Smealer, Too Fast has managed to get past Smealer. I'm sorry I missed that. But Too Fast for You is up into P3 on the road. IPR Smealer just needs to stay within 5 seconds of him, and he will overtake him on aggregate at the end of the race. As we see the blue flags for some reason. I feel Smealer going into turn 3, closing up on Too Fast for You. Let's see who gets the better exit. And it looks like Too Fast pulls out a bit of a gap from that exit. And I think Smealer will be too far back to go for the pass this particular lap. As we see Skull Crusher coming up to be lapped by Adam. Hopefully he gets out of the way. He does indeed. Very nice. This is what we love to see. Sipunak running a very strong P6. Up one position from his starting position. Running a very solid race. Should be some good points here if he finishes right at the moment. As Vendetta pits, let's see. Okay, let's watch this. Let's see where he comes out. He's going to be passed by Too Fast. He's going to be passed by Sweetwood. He's going to be passed by Adam. Is he going to be passed by Sipunak? Yes, he is. So Vendetta, who was dominating the early stages of this race, thanks to that drive-through penalty, could be coming out behind P2 Toasted Vivid. Will he? No. He's managed to come out ahead of Toasted Vivid, but he is now on the super soft tyre with only 7 laps to go in the race. He is 6 seconds behind Sipunak. I think he can make that up. He is about 8 seconds behind Adam, and indeed Smealer as well. So we will see if he can make up that time. 8 seconds in 7 laps will be a tough ask, but we know how fast Vendetta is. I think that Too Fast is probably a bit out of reach there. Possibly. We will see. Sorry, it's 10 seconds to Adam and 13 to Sweden, so that really will be a tough ask as Skullcrusher retires. He was laps down. I understand why he's done that. As Way also pits. Now where will he come out? He is going to be ahead of Sipunak, I think. And he is also on the super soft tyre. Indeed, so Zway comes out behind Adam, 2 seconds behind Adam, on the super soft tyre. Adam, trying to close down on the leaders, which is currently Too Fast and Smealer. Smealer with the net race lead for now. I do not know what warnings Smealer has. So he could be in danger of getting a 3-second penalty of his own. And Zway has a 5-second penalty now. I'm imagining that's for speeding in the pit lane. So Zway, Vendetta and Too Fast have all made costly mistakes that could see them get put down the order. Carlin at the moment way out ahead in the constructors standing with P2 and P3. Famer with Too Fast also not doing bad, and Much Olmec currently getting passed for P11 out of the points. In fact, Olmec is falling down the order. What is happening here? He seems to be going quite slowly, I'm not sure. As Vendetta sets the fastest lap at 13.9. That's very, very fast. That's almost the speed he was doing in qualifying. He's almost caught. This is Zway almost catching up to Adam already, not quite inside DRS. Vendetta almost catching up to Sipuna, again not quite in DRS. Behind, Makalele is inside the DRS range of Milano as Aries makes his second stop. Something must have happened there. What happened to Aries? We will have to see. He's down in P13 now. Down in P15. This is awful for Aries, as Makalele has closed right up. Oh, but he gets the massive oversteer on exit, and although he has DRS, he's not even close to being close enough to Milano to make the pass. In fact, he's going to have to fight to get back into DRS range as Milano goes wide. Vendetta has got into DRS range of Sipuna. He wants to get this move done with as quickly as possible. so that he can focus on fighting his way up to Sway, Adam, Smeela and Too Fast, who are currently the leaders. Too Fast has managed to get out of the DRS range of Smeela, so now he needs to make up 3 seconds to Smeela in the next 4 laps, as Vendetta sets the fastest first sector and gets past Sipunak very nicely. Will Sipunak have a go back, or is he not going to quite be close enough? It looks like he will not be close enough to have another go at Vendetta. Vendetta then has got past on these super soft tyres and now has only 4 laps to make up 6 seconds to Zoué. I don't think that's going to happen. I think he is going to end up in 5th. Although, of course, Zoué does have that 5-second penalty. So he actually only needs to make up about 1 second, which is far more doable. So we'll have to see where he ends up. I know of a guy inside the DRS range of Alpha who has disconnected. As Adam, P3, gets a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. Now, this will not affect him from Zoué. It could affect him from Vendetta if Vendetta gets within 3 seconds of him. Ivo Peter is coming up to be lapped. Let's see if he gets out of the way. He does, very nice. Makes Adam go to the inside there, but no time really lost. And Zoué is right behind Adam. I didn't notice that. That happened very quickly. And Zoué going up into P3 on the road, it looks like. Unless Adam can get the switchback. Tries to hold it around the outside, but he cannot. Zoué needs to put out a 2-second gap to Adam in the next 3 laps in order to keep this P3. Too Fast is doing a very good job of pulling away from Smeela. Smeela just keeping it consistent, not getting any penalties of his own. Vendetta has already closed that gap to Adam to under 5 seconds. And oh, what happened to Too Fast? Too Fast has spun. The leader of the race has broken his wing. This is awful for him. He's going to have to pit, and this is going to put him right down the order. This could put him as low as 9th or 10th. Actually, there's this 17-second gap between Milano and I know the guy should keep him safe. But the lead of the race now is definitively in the hands of IPR Smeela, barring penalties, and with 2 laps left, with a 2-second gap to his teammate behind. This should be Smeela's race, not to curse it. Hopefully he doesn't bin it now, I think, because I feel bad about that. Vendetta closing the gap to Zoué. Zoué with that 5-second penalty will currently finish behind Vendetta in P4. Vendetta, I must say, has come back brilliantly from his drive-through penalty that would have seen him winning this race by an absolute mile. As he goes to the inside of Zoué immediately. Oh, and he saves it off the wall. So that was a very aggressive move. That was always going to be risky. And now he's fallen outside of that 5-second window. He didn't have to do that. That was a mistake from Vendetta. I'll need to see the replay to see if Zoué turned in. But Vendetta now 8 seconds out from behind Zoué with IPR Sipunak on his tail. Sipunak and Vendetta will finish in this order unless Sipunak can overtake as we go to the second last lap. But Vendetta now needs to make up 3 seconds in 2 laps to get ahead of Zoué and onto the podium. Aries with another penalty. Toasted Vivid down in 11th. We've got a bit of a train here. We've got Aries, Toasted Vivid, Much Olmer. We go to the inside to defend from Too Fast for You. Coming back, almost into the points now. He's in 13th. He was leading the race. And this is really not what we were expecting from the Cardin team. We were expecting them to be right up fighting for podiums. And now here they are down in 12th and 13th. As it was almost 3 wide ahead there with the 2 BWT cars. And that's Toasted Vivid being pushed wide by IPR Aries. And Smeela disqualified from the session. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Smealer did not use the required tyre compounds. He... Oh no, wow, that is such a blunder from Smealer. He only used one of the two tyre compounds. You have to use both. Sway now has an 8-second penalty actually, so Vendetta, that will put Vendetta above him. As Adam and Sway fight it on track. If I'm Adam right now, I'm letting Sway have this position. I don't need to fight this. Why risk it? And I know of a guy also disqualified for not using the correct tyre compounds. Lots of people getting disqualified for this. They're falling like flies. They're falling by the wayside. Milano disqualified. Wow, what is happening? All these people just didn't use the right compounds. Adam, however, rounding the final turn with Sway. Adam crosses the line, and I can't see anyone. In fact, no. Adam has won the race. The win of the feature race goes to BFR Adam. Vendetta, because of Zway's 8 seconds of penalties, Vendetta comes home in 2nd place. IPR Sipuna comes home in 4th. Kenners makes up a lot of ground coming 5th. And now Aries, coming into the last sector, has 9 seconds of penalties and is only 2 seconds ahead of Too Fast for You. So Too Fast from P16 or 15 after his second pit stop managed to fight back through to come P7, helped of course by 4 people being disqualified on the final lap for failing to use the required tyre compounds. We're currently waiting for the last 2 people to come across the line. IPR and Michael Lele rounding the final corner, and Olmec behind him. Both of them will keep their on-track positions. So wow, I want to see what the drivers are saying about this. That was what are that is crazy. Wow. So people are saying that they use both compounds. Pitting under virtual safety car does not count as a pit stop in Formula 2. So anyone who pitted under virtual safety car, including Smealer, who would have won the race easily, did not count as them having made a pit stop, so they were disqualified for not using the correct tyre compounds. Well, that's a rule I didn't know, and obviously a rule that none of those guys knew, but it has resulted in BFR Adam taking the first win of this Formula 2 series. Vendetta, after his drive-through penalty under the virtual safety car, he's come back to finish 2nd in the race. Zway up from 10th on the grid to take P3. I want to shout out Alpha, coming through from 2nd last on the grid to get 7th place for BWT. The 2 BWT cars inside the top 10. That's a crazy race. Obviously a lot of confusion about the disqualifications there. We will have to look at what happened, but that's very, very weird. Wow, okay. Yeah. Right. We go again. We are now ready for the sprint race. looks like we lost a couple of people from the lobby, so we're just gonna have to wait. But while we do, I'm gonna see if anyone wants to talk about that race. Looks like we're going to have the winner, Adam, having an interview about that race. Give me a second to sort this out. Sorry for the delay there, just trying to sort out an interview with Adam.
Hello.
Hello.
You alright, bud?
What a race!
What a race!
Coming through from P3 on the grid, I think it was. From you
What
to take
a
the
race!
win.
I feel bad for Smeela.
I know.
But I was saying to him, he must have had my stream muted because he's watching my stream. But I was screaming at him. I was like, Smeela, you've got to pit. But yeah, it's unlucky, isn't it?
Did you know the rule that pitting under VSC didn't count? Because I didn't.
No, I can just read. Because it came up on the screen saying this does not count as a mandatory pit stop.
Ah, okay.
So everyone who didn't do it cannot read.
Okay. Good to know. It's their own fault, not.
Yeah, exactly.
Not the game.
But no, I had some really clean racing with Z-Wedge. Is that how you say his name? Zway?
I've been saying it Zway, but let's go with
Zway.
It sounds fun.
Yeah, I had a really, really nice battle with him at the end.
Yeah, I was saying on the stream that he had 8 seconds of penalties, in fact, and you only had 3,
Yeah.
I think it was. But nice fighting nevertheless. You did
I
get a bit
had,
lucky with Vendetta getting a drive-through under the virtual safety car, but
Did he get a drive-through? Is that why
yeah,
he was so far behind?
He had a drive-through for speeding under his virtual safety car.
Oh, gutted. I had no idea.
But he managed to come back through to take P2 in the end.
Yeah.
So yeah,
fair play.
That guy got some pay. Heading into this second race, of course, it's the sprint race. You're going to be starting P8 because of the reverse grid. If that's happening, I'm fairly sure it is.
It should be, I think, yeah.
You confident that you can come through to finish again?
I'm hoping so. As long as I don't have people, disgustingly slow in front of me just blocking the track, I hope I should be okay.
Any thoughts on the no ghosting so far? Did you have any problems with that?
I had none, no. Everyone who I was blue flagged in front of me moved out the way very nicely, so...
Very nice.
No complaints from me. But, I feel so bad for Smeela. Yeah. I said to him before the race... sorry, just choking. That I want a Carlin P1, P2, and it was going to happen. It was going to happen.
If he pitted a lap later, because he made that undercut work really well as well. He managed to undercut you from that. And he got too fast as well. But yeah, anyway, great race. I will let you get back to whatever you're doing and get ready for the sprint race. Thank you for
no worries, bud.
Really well done.
See you later.
Good luck in the next race.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Yeah, so great race from Adam there. Let me see if I can get someone else for an interview. Let's see if I can get Smeela. Not quite sure what we're waiting for before the sprint race. We've got some people readying up, some people not. So let's just wait and see what we are getting. This sprint race is going to be a 25% sprint race, I think. It's yeah, so it's going to be a lot shorter, and there is no mandatory pit stop, so no DQs, as far as I know. Although I'm not sure if that's how we're doing it. I think we're doing it manually, so there will be a pit stop in this. Not entirely accurate to real life, but close enough. Well done to Michaelele for sorting this out, and we should be getting into the next race soon. Yes, people are readying up. The call to ready up has been made, and we are ready for the second of these two races. While we wait, if there's anyone watching the stream right now who is not in IPR but is interested in racing, or who is in IPR and hasn't posted their time trial times for season 2 of the F1 League yet, yeah, we're doing season 2. We have Division 1, we have Division 2. If you join and sign up to the server right now, you will be almost guaranteed to get a seat in one of them. It's good clean racing, as you can see from this. Well, mostly from this. There was a bit of spinach and crashage, but for the whole it was mostly clean. No qualifying this time, going straight into the race. The grid, how this works with a sprint race is the top 8 people from the race before will be reversed, and the rest of the grid behind that will be the same. So that means that Adam will be starting P8. We will have Vendetta starting P7, Zway P6, and I can't remember how the race finished after that, so we will have to see. It's possible people will be in slightly the wrong order because Michaelele had to do it manually, as the game's inbuilt sprint race feature does not work that well. However, as the drivers load in, we are on to the formation lap again. Toasted Vivid takes pole for this race, as he finished P8 in the last race. Too Fast For You, who we know really is quite fast, takes P2. IPR Kenners, who had a bit of a bad race last race, I want to say. I think he was a victim of circumstance, getting caught out in a couple of incidents, but he fell from his starting place of P4 to finish in P5. So not that bad, but down a bit from where he started. He starts in P3 for this race. IPR Sapuna. Sorry, Kenny's finished in P6. IPR Sapuna finished in P5 last race. Starts P3 for this. Then we have Zway, who came through from P10 on the grid, I think it was. It was a great race for him. He got unlucky with his penalties. If he didn't get a penalty when going into the pit lane, he could have taken the race. However, that's not how it worked out for him, and he finished P4. Vendetta, of course, another person, unlucky you could say, but then at the same time, he did speed under the virtual safety car, so he got himself a drive through. He finished the race in P2, so he starts this race in P6. and Adam, the winner of the last race, starting P7. I think something's gone a little bit wrong with the grid. Maybe there's been overtaken on the formation lap, maybe that's what's happened. But either way, the grid is lining up. Toasted Vivid on pole. We know he has pace. He qualified second. And he got unlucky in the last race. So let's see what he can do in this sprint race as the last few drivers enter the grid. We are ready for the sprint race in Austria. As the cars are on the grid, we wait for the lights to come on. Nothing yet. I think we're probably just waiting for a couple more people to load into the session. Still waiting here. Let me just see what's going on with this then. I think we are waiting for someone to load in. Vendetta. Vendetta has disconnected. We have to wait for him to rejoin the grid. So let's just be patient and wait for that to happen. Let's look a bit further down the grid, see who else we could be looking out for. Aries starting P8, bit unlucky starting, I think it should be P9, someone left, so everyone has moved up a position. But Aries starting P8 either way. And the lights are on, 3, 4, 5 lights, and they are waiting, and they're off again. And Toasted Vivid gets away well, he keeps the lead. There's a crash behind, lots of people crashing, but the top 10 or so managed to get away safely. Who is that going off on the right? Too Fast For You down to P3. One of the Carlins has spun. Both of the Carlins down towards the back of the grid now. Adam and Smeela, the two Carlins who were so dominant in the last race, now down at the back. But it is Toasted Vivid in the lead, followed by Zway in P2. The rest of the field is following from a bit further back. It's Kenners in fact in P2. Brilliant start from Kenners, who has made up at least 3 positions there, I think. Now let's see what's happened to Adam. He must have been caught up there. Smeela down in P13. Adam off the back, possibly with wing damage. The winner of the last race looks like it's going to need a miracle to happen again here. As Sway gets up into P2 past IPR Kenners. Too Fast For You also gets past Kenners. Kenners is falling back down the field. Aries right on his back now. Trying to go to the inside, he can't quite make it work. Kenners stays ahead for now. As they come into the last corner, it is Toasted Vivid in first with a 1.5 second gap to Sway. And then the rest of these drivers are within DRS range. Too Fast For You, IPR Kenners, IPR Aries, Sipunak, Olmec, Ivo Peters and Michaelele. Skullcrusher with the penalty already rounding up the top 10. As they rush up towards turn 3, Too Fast For You goes to the outside. Kenners looks up the inside. Aries looks up the inside of both of them. Kenners gets past Too Fast For You. Aries stays behind both of them with a little bit of a nudge to Kenners there. A bit of a tap on the back, helping him through. Very friendly. Too Fast For You looks to the inside again, but he decides to back out. Aries lunges to the inside but can't make it work. That would have been one hell of a dive if it did. Sipunak on the back of this group, with Olmec and Ivo Peters both within DRS range behind. But it is Too Fast For You and Kenners who are the fastest on the track now. Ignore this on the left. John is not in fact in the lead, as Kenners picks up his first penalty. Only 2 seconds for multiple warnings. I don't understand how penalties work in this game, but let's go with it. He goes wide again into the last one. That could be another warning. And he's track extending all over the place right now. IPR Kenners. Too Fast For You staying on the back of him without a penalty. and let's see if DRS has been enabled. Yeah, it has been. With a 3-second penalty for Smila. The penalty seems to be turned down a bit for the sprint race. As Too Fast For You goes to the inside, he manages to get alongside. Kenners is still down the outside. Too Fast has the DRS coming along the top straight, but Kenners gets a better exit. Can Too Fast come back? He goes to the inside. Kenners doesn't defend, and this should be Too Fast through. Although Kenners later on the brakes, can he hold it around the outside again? Doesn't seem like it. It seems like Too Fast is through, and he is. Too Fast up into P3. Kenners P4. Aries looking at the back of Kenners. He nearly goes for the move there, but decides to back out of it. Aries in P5 up from P8. A good start to the race for him. Toasted Vivid out in front. 2 seconds gap this way, who in turn is 2 seconds ahead of Too Fast. Ooh, and that's a lunge from Aries, and there's a bit of contact there. But Kenners gets another time penalty, putting him on 4 seconds already. Very aggressive moves from Aries on Kenners. Could be a report from Kenners if he wanted to. We'll have to see what the stewards do. As Aries gets a much better exit and just breezes past IPR Kenners, heading up towards turn 3. Kenners a bit later on the race. Let's see if he can get the good exit to have a go back towards turn 4, and he can. Aries gets a bad exit out of that corner, and now Kenners is all over him. Aries goes defensive to the inside, making Kenners go the long way round. They're side by side into this corner. Aries on the inside, can he hold it? He goes in a bit deep. There's contact made between the two drivers, but they keep it clean. Sipunak coming up behind. Kenners stays behind Aries, and now this has given Sipunak a chance to get in on this fight. It's brilliant racing for P4, and that is Sipunak going past Kenners at the first opportunity. Kenners tries to fight it around the outside, and there's contact made, and another 2-second penalty for Kenners, who's already on 6. Sip. He's just backed out of that one. He's going to have another go
I
with
decided to do
DRS.
some commentating instead with him. I gave up with the race.
As Too Fast puts in the fastest lap of the race. Sipunak going into turn 1. Opens the DRS. Kenners has the DRS as well though, so he won't be getting too much of an advantage from this. Zoué with the 2-second penalty on the road, that will put him behind Too Fast. Sipunak, let's see if he can get a good exit out of here and challenge Kenners. No, a bit of wheel spin there, putting him down a bit. Let's see what's happening behind. Olmec is also on this train, and then Michael Lele is a bit further back. Smila is out of this race. Seems like it's been a bad day for him. I'm not sure what happened. He just joined the VC. I'll have to talk to him after the race to find out what happened. But I know the guy and Milano fighting here. Milano goes wide. Does he have damage? Possibly. Maybe he was going for the switchback. Maybe he has damage. Let's see if we can see. No visible damage on his car, but it could be just a little bit of wing damage, making his car all that more understeery. As Adam, the winner of last race, has fought his way back up to P11. Very good job so far after whatever happened on the first lap. I'll need to speak to him again, but let's see. Aries has managed to get a 2-second gap to Sipunak, who goes wide, and now it's Kenners and much Olmec heading up towards turn 3. Kenners has the DRS wide open, the hole in the rear wing, but Sipunak seems to have very good straight line speed on his setup. Goes a bit deep into turn 3 though, and Kenners gets alongside. Could this give him a chance? And Kenners seems to be getting ahead before this next turn. Going onto the... Sorry, I completely missed that. And that's Sipunak. That's someone heading backwards. That was John. John is backwards at that turn, as it is Sipunak and Kenners going side by side through the left-hander of turn 5, with much Olmec right behind them. You can see all three of them now. What a great shot. 3 wide going into the final sector. Kenners in the lead of the 3. Then Sip, then Olmec. There's contact made between Kenners and Sipunak, and now Olmec is going to have a look around the outside, but he can't make it work. Kenners does not have the straight line speed to match Supunak. As Supunak breezes past on the straight, Kenners going to have a go back up towards turn 3. He's really track extending a lot at the moment, Kenners, but no penalty for that one. The DRS doesn't seem to be making as much of a difference against Supunak, who does have a very fast car in a straight line. Although he goes deep, does Supunak, and that lets Kenners through, and it's also going to let Olmec through, it seems like. So, Supunak from 5th to 7th in one corner, outbraking himself. This is a brilliant battle between these three. Toasted Vivid still out in the lead, 2-second gap to Sway, who has a 1.5 second gap, as much Olmec nearly loses it. Very nearly takes Supunak with him, but they both stay alright. As Kenners has started to put out a gap here, he's got a second. If Supunak can't close him down before the DRS detection zone, Kenners will be out of DRS range, and it will be a lot harder for Supunak to close down, and it will also be a lot easier for Olmec to overtake Supunak. Too Fast For You has got within DRS of Sway, who he was ahead of because of penalties anyway, excuse me, as Supunak gets his first 2-second penalty. He managed to get back into the DRS zone of Kenners, track extending a bit on the exit there. He's not going to be close enough to have a go into turn 3 as John retires, unfortunately. But he could have a go down this back straight, but again he goes a bit deep into there, compromising the exit. Much Olmec is still behind Supunak, but they've managed to spread out a bit. Milano and I Know of a Guy still going at it. I Know of a Guy right on the back of Milano here, going down towards turn 4. I Know of a Guy is on the inside. Has he gone in too deep? No, he makes the corner. Can Milano get back past? He's on the outside now as they come towards these fast left-handers. But I Know of a Guy parks the car on the apex and does not let Milano get even close, as Kenners gets another penalty now. He's fallen down. What's happened to Kenners? Kenners now is appearing in P19 and out of the race. That could be a disqualification. He was getting a lot of penalties. I will have to ask him what's happened there, but the upshot is he is now down and out of the race, unless this is a glitch with the replay system. As Milano looks down the inside of I Know of a Guy. This is now the back of P9 because of Kenners being out. Much Olmec is getting past Supunak up into turn 3. Sip keeps it nice and tight on the apex. He has the DRS going down towards turn 4. This is an action-packed race. There is only a lap and a half left for these guys, and they are not fighting for position, as Supunak has 2 seconds and Olmec does not. So Olmec just has to stay within 2 seconds of Supunak. He can't let Sip run away. He can't risk He can't risk a DNF. He will have P4 if everything finishes as it is right now, because of Aries' 4-second penalty. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's wrong. He will finish P5. Aries is 7 seconds ahead of these two. Now Sip needs to have a very good last lap if he wants to keep this P5 on the road. And in fact, Adam, what a race from Adam after his first lap. Adam is back up to P7 and he is going to be fighting for position with Sip. They both have 2 seconds. Olmec is finishing ahead of them, unless he gets a penalty of his own. But that's a great turn from Adam. He gets the DRS open. And now coming up next to Supunak, Ivo Peters, the back marker, off the track on the right, but Adam has got ahead of Supunak on the last lap, heading up towards turn 3. Supunak goes off track and gets another 2 seconds time penalty, bringing him up to 6. That's a misjudgment from Supunak. That was not worth it. That's putting him down the order quite a lot now. He's in P5 on the road, but that's not how things will finish after all the penalties have been given. Meanwhile, Toasted Vivid coming into the last sector. I'm not going to stay on board because there's exciting racing happening elsewhere, but it's been a dominant race from him. The display that we could have seen in the last race had he not been spun at turn 1. And that's someone going round. Who is that? That is Ivo Peters, I think. or is it someone else? Toasted Vivid takes the win. Too Fast for You comes home in second place. Sway comes home in third. None of those positions will change. Aries in fourth. Sipunak crosses the line in fifth, but he will be heading down the order. How much? Will he be going down 8th now? 9th now? Not great for Sipunak. A brilliant recovery from Adam, and a good race from Olmec as well as Vendetta, who was so dominant in the last race until he had his penalty. Crossed the line in 12th and out of the points. Wow, that was that was a brilliant sprint race. Close racing all around. Toasted Vivid taking the win. Too Fast for You proving that he is and coming home in second. Zway, another strong performance, taking third in both races. Some anger in the chat from Aries aimed at Ivo Peters not letting him by, but we'll have to deal with that after the race. Wow. A great 2 races so far. So we'll have to see the championship standings. But I have a feeling it's going to be Zway in the lead of the championship, with Too Fast up there as well as Adam. Great racing in both races. These F2 cars really do produce some great racing. I'll try to get some interviews for anyone who is still watching. Do we still have people watching? Let's see. We do. We have 8 people watching. Let's try to get some. And it was Kenneth did get disqualified for penalties there. Let's try to get Smeela for an interview. As we wait for the session to end so we can see the
Hello.
Hello, Smeela.
I mean, I wanted to. Oh my god.
I want to be interviewed.
Oh wow.
I want to be interviewed.
We've got the
I
boys
wanted to
now.
be interviewed.
Okay, I'm
Okay,
Basically,
Smeela first.
I'm
I
muting you
didn't
guys.
actually want to have an interview. I wanted to have a commentate with you. I tried to say in your chat, but you didn't read it. But anyways, yes, interview.
Oh,
Very
that's
cool.
what I don't know. I just heard like someone joined the channel, and I was like, wait, I'm commentating.
Do you not hear me
here, so I
saying
def-
I'm gonna?
So I deafened myself.
Oh, oh, mean. Alright, anyways. Go on then.
But-
Ask your questions. Blah blah.
So, we saw in the first race you got disqualified for failing to use the tyre compounds.
Mhm.
When you're in a dominant lead, that's gotta hurt a bit.
Yeah. I mean, it was just plain stupidity from me. I didn't realise that you couldn't pit under the safety car or virtual safety car, so it's
yeah,
my
that's
bad, and
just-
I'll be back for the next race.
That is unlucky. But then
It's
I
whatever.
didn't get to see what happened in the second race. I just saw you suddenly at the back of the field and out
Yeah.
of the race. So would you?
I'd,
explain?
Basically, there was at the start. I have no clue what happened, but John and Lanzo, there was contact. I was involved in it. I wasn't involved in it, but I just got in the aftermath of it all. Had a red broken front wing, and then I was just like, didn't bother anymore. Like literally, I thought I've got a broken wing. A pit stop will send me back to the grid. I can barely make up many places. So I know Adam did a brilliant job from P2A. He was actually just 3 seconds behind me. That was before the pit stop, so it would have been
Yeah, we saw that.
30 seconds behind.
Yeah. Okay, so an unlucky couple of races for you though.
It's whatever.
Yeah, it's whatever it is. So
Yeah.
hopefully you can come back stronger next week.
I'll give it my best.
Yeah, great. Who wants to go next?
Go.
Makalele, Collins?
Yes, hello.
Makalele.
Yeah.
A strong couple of races from you, I think. Can't remember your exact positions, but I think it was about P7.
Yeah, I'm
P7
pretty happy with my results in these races.
Nice.
I finished the first one in P9 and the second one in P7.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty happy with that.
So yeah, how was the no ghosting for you? Did you have any issues with that or anything?
Oh yeah, definitely. There were some drivers who didn't know that no ghosting was turned off.
Ah,
So that has caused some incidents. But I didn't really have a large crash or something like that because of it.
okay. Well, that's something that we'll continue like trialing in the
Yeah.
future.
Definitely.
But apart from that, it seemed like your qualifying pace perhaps wasn't as strong as your race pace. Did you find it like hard to be fast over one lap in the F2 cars, or what do you just think of the F2 cars in general?
Yeah, in the qualifying, I basically used up my tire, my fastest tire really quickly
Hmm.
on an invalidated lap, so I didn't really have the opportunity to fix that.
Okay.
But I came out stronger in the race, and I'm happy with that.
Okay. Nice one. So Ken is now.
Hi.
Hi. So an interesting couple of races from you, I think we could say.
First race, span at turn one. Wasn't brilliant, not to plan. So don't really know what happened then. I kind of pit, a VSC came out, people pitted and they had to pit, I don't really know. I ended up in like P5 or something. Pretty happy with.
Yeah.
Second race, the car, I don't know what went wrong. It felt really weird. I couldn't like turn really. Got disqualified because of penalties.
We saw, yeah, I saw you going wide a couple of times.
Just a few.
Just a few, but it was
May
a
have
it was a
gotten
decent battle.
12 warnings, but you know.
It was a decent battle you were having with Sip and March Olmec. Well,
Oh, yeah, that was really good.
while you were still in the race.
Yeah, that was a fun battle. I think I had a good one with Aries.
Yeah, Aries was part of that as well.
And in the first race, I had a good battle with someone else when I outbraked myself. But other than that, it was a pretty uneventful race in the first one.
Yeah, where did you finish in the first one? You finished about P
5 or 4.
Yeah.
So, pretty happy.
So yeah, decent couple of races from you. First one better than the second, but next week on the calendar, let me
It's
just find
Hungary
it.
and Britain.
It's Hungary and Britain. What do you think about that?
Well, I like both tracks. I think I'm good at both tracks in F1 cars. I don't really know about F2. If it goes well, then yay. If it doesn't, then oh well. See how it goes.
What do you
But
think about racing in these F2 cars and driving in them in general? Do you prefer them to the F1 or not as?
Once you actually start driving them, they feel quite similar.
Okay,
I think,
interesting.
like because you just get into like a rhythm, but
Hello?
they're definitely worse.
Hey Adam, give me a sec. Yeah.
Yeah, no worries.
So, yeah, okay.
As far as the ghosting goes, just thought I would say something about this
Okay.
because no one knew about ghosting. It was obviously not going to go brilliant. Well, it wasn't really a reminder of people, so people were like resetting to track and everything. And then I had a thing where someone basically just drove out right in front of me,
That's
which stopped the battle, which wasn't great.
that's unlucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although the guy I was battling with got an illegal overtake, so he has to let me by anyway.
Oh, okay.
So.
Well, a reminder to any drivers watching the stream that you can report your incidents, and I will look at them. I think I'm pretty much the only steward for the two, but I will look at them. Someone's server muting us in the Discord, which is very unhelpful. Whoever's server muting us, just don't. Anyway, thank you, Kenners. Adam.
You're welcome.
Hello.
So, such a strong performance in the first race, and then I'm looking at the start of the second race, and I see Adam in P19.
Yeah.
Didn't actually see what happened. So could you enlighten us as to what happened at the start there?
Well, I said in my Twitch stream, I said, as long as I don't spin turn one, I'm okay. And then I just put my foot to the floor too hard on the. I had to go up onto the side of the track because obviously, turn one shitfest as per usual.
Yeah.
So I went up to the side and didn't realize that you can't really just floor it when you're on the side of the track.
Mm.
So tried to floor it and spun. Was P19 by over 7.5 seconds, and still brought it back to P6.
We didn't see many of the overtakes because there was an amazing battle happening further up, but I saw on the second last lap, oh, Adam's back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, did you just think you had like amazing pace, or was it just a case of just maximizing your chances, or did you feel like you were miles faster than everyone else? And you
I felt like I was a lot quicker because I had to catch up 7 seconds to the back markers anyway. I just felt like I was really quick. I don't know why today. I just felt really quick.
Yeah, well, good job either way, mate. You came through to P7, I think, in the end.
Yeah.
With the win of the first race, I think that's going to put you very high up, if not at the top of.
I think Z-Wedge might get it because he came P3 and P3.
Both, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to do the maths.
Yeah.
But...
No, I'm looking forward to this. I enjoy this more than F1 because I'm more consistent in F2 than F1 for some
Yeah,
reason.
it definitely seems like you have good pace. And
I'm banging it.
next race, as it currently stands, it's going to be Hungary and Silverstone. Any thoughts on that?
No idea. I haven't practiced yet.
Fair enough.
Might change. Just thought I'd say. Because
Might change, yes.
Mike Lele is having problems with just sorting everything out. So it might change it to be just a feature and sprint on the same track.
Yeah, I would be happy for that. Saves practicing 2 tracks the same week, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon you just do that default, to be honest. But that's up to you guys.
Well, we'll talk about it and we'll see.
Yeah.
Anyway.
See what my player said.
Adam.
No worries.
Really
Been a
good.
pleasure, boys.
Yeah.
See you later.
Nice one. I'll see you, man.
Take it easy.
Skull Crusher, you want to give an interview?
Sure.
So, we didn't see much of you in those races. I think you were doing quietly quite a good job around top 10, just outside perhaps. But how was it? How were they for you?
Yeah, it was fun. First race I disconnected. Second race I got spun. Yeah, didn't really care much about after that.
That's unlucky. How do you feel about driving the F2 cars? Do you enjoy driving them, or do you prefer F1?
No, F2 is very fun. I think it's closer than F1 and has a more closer racing.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. So, yeah, perhaps not the best week for you, but perhaps out of your control as well. So I'm sure that you will be back next week, and you can fight for perhaps more points finishes. So, thank you, man, and I'll see you later.
No problem.
That's going to be it from this stream. Lots of people have left already. Thank you for watching. Remember to join again next week when at the moment it's going to be it is going to be Hungary and Silverstone. It's possible that will change, but either way, thank you for watching, and I will see you next week.